Right now, there's a trend on social media about manifestation. Every influencer is talking about manifestation. And when so many people are talking about it, raises the question, does it actually work?
You desire something and then you imagine your desire has been fulfilled, right? We don't have any wonderful desires. We have very stinking desires. What does the young lustful person desire? All the available bodies of the other gender, or maybe the same gender, I don't know, from something. And he is manifesting. Do we ever desire anything that is really good for everybody? The question remains, was that thing worth it?
So I used to dance, sketch, paint, everything. As the years went by, I had to leave them behind. I felt a little lost. From you, I would like to know that what exactly is creativity? Can you elaborate on this?
What is it that you have deprived yourself of? Within you, your exposure runs to 2 of your own and 2 of your friend. 2 plus 2, 4. And what life is offering you is 240. Creativity does not come from pre-cooked material. Creativity is to dare life as it is. But you stick to the past and you stick to the influences. This is called me.
So, my question is about manifestation. Right now, there's a trend on social media about manifestation. Every influencer is talking about manifestation. And when so many people are talking about it, it raises the question, does it actually work? And because of that question, I tried in my own life. And a lot of people say different things. Write what you want on a wall, write what you want on a book, and read that thing every day. And some say, hold that idea fast in your mind. And over time, all the decisions that you take throughout the day will align towards that goal. And some people even say, if you want to be a rich person, just believe that you already are a rich person. So, is this idea a good idea to have? So, is there any truth to manifestation? Because there's so many people talking about it. I thought it could work, and it worked to some extent. So, could you please shed some light on this idea and whether it is something that could work or a complete hoax?
Understand the entire paradigm here. We'll get into this later, whether it works or not. First of all, what is this thing called manifestation? Manifestation is simply an expression of your desire, right? You desire something and then you imagine your desire has been fulfilled, right? That's manifestation for the uninitiated. Question is, what is it that you're going to desire in the first place? What is it that you desire? Do you know what to desire? And what if you actually start getting what you desire? You think your life would be better off? Think of all the stupid things you have so keenly desired. What if your desire had actually been fulfilled? You would have been finished off. But that's what lack of honesty does. You won't want to encounter the ugliness of your desires. One way is to simply write down the things that you have desired in the past and somehow gotten rid of. You desired something, that thing came to you, and then it took a lot of time and effort and wounds to get rid of that thing. Has it happened? Because the desiring one is not wise at all. What would a terrorist desire? Yes, that's it. Because you are a terrorist, so you desire something. What does the common man desire? Give me more money. What will the politician desire? Finish off the democracy and give me power for life. Not just power, secured power, assured power for entire life. These are the desires that we have. Please understand, first of all. We don't have any wonderful desires. We have very stinking desires. What does the young, lustful person desire? And most people are lustful, at least in their private corners. What does the young, lustful person desire? All the available bodies of the other gender, or maybe the same gender, I don't know, something. That's all that the person desires, right? And he is manifesting. And assume that this trick called manifestation has any validity to it. It would be very problematic, no? What would the rapist desire? And he is manifesting. And the manifestation comes true. Do we ever desire anything that is really good for everybody? What you desire is in most cases harmful for the entire world. Or is it not? You just don't want a bigger car. Left to yourself, you will want the entire road. And what does that mean for the rest of the travelers and drivers? They're out. First of all, it is not good even for you. And secondly, your desires are rarely good for everybody. In fact, in so many cases, the desire is just to kill the other person. They say God appeared in front of 2 or 3 people. And they were asked their desires. The first one said, give me this much, this much, this much, this much. And he kept speaking till he fainted. Because the list of desire never exhausts itself. So that fellow kept speaking of his desires till he passed out. Anyway, God said, fine, tathastu. May all be desires be met. So the second one was asked, now what do you want? He said, you just give me double of what you gave the other person. So God says, fine, you too can have that. Then God comes to the third one, what do you want? He said, withdraw whatever you gave to these two. That's how our desires are. Relative to others. And manifestation is all about fulfilling your desire, which is a very, very dangerous thing. Because your desire is good for nobody, not even you. Is there anybody who at some point in time, at some fleeting moment, not desired to kill somebody? Please tell me. Anybody here?
Yeah, I wanted.
He has wanted. Now come on, I know. When it comes to me, at least I know thousands who have wanted to kill me. What if this desire is fulfilled? Why is it so difficult to acknowledge that our desires are stupid? That we don't know what is good for us? That is one thing. Now, whether it can work. The first part we said, even if it works, so what? Now, whether it can work. See, most people want very, very common things. And that's why there is so much competition in the world. Because most people set their sights on just the few common things. And who gets that thing? Usually the one who has put in more effort. Obviously, luck, connections and mischief and tricks, all manipulations, they also count for a lot. But if the systems are more or less okay, and you are devoting a lot of your energy towards attaining some object, chances are you may get that object. Does that happen or not? It is not that all your desires remain unmet. If you really, really work hard for something, there is a 50, 60, 70% chance you will get that thing. Right? So yes, if you are so concentrated on something, you will probably get that thing. Just probably. It is also possible you may not get it. But if you invest your energy, concentrate on something, probably you will get it. The question remains, was that thing worth it? You gave it so much time, so much respect. Did it deserve that? That's the question. If you are so mad after something that continuously you are hallucinating about it, and that hallucination is called manifestation, then there is a fair chance that you will get that thing that you want. Not because the trick has worked, but because you are putting so much into it. You'll get that thing. But are you convinced that the thing that you will get will be good for you? That's the question. And once you know what is good for you, then you don't need any manifestation or such stupid trick. Once you know what is really right for you, then there is an explosion of inner energy. Then you don't manifest or imagine it. You work because the thing is right. You don't care for the future. You don't ask whether I'll reach the destination. You say, I need to walk this road. If the destination is met, wonderful. Maybe the road is endless. Maybe there is no destination. That too is wonderful. But this is the path I should take. No manifestation or any such thing needed.
So it does not mean all desires cause suffering. There are some things which are worth it.
It depends on who the desirous one is. If you are awakened, if you are wise, then your desires will be wise too. But if you are stupid, then all your desires will be stupid. It depends on your inner condition.
So we must know more to desire better.
Obviously. A madman can desire 100 things. All 100 desires will bear the stamp of his madness. You cannot say, 80% desires are foolish, but 20% are very wise. It is not possible. Because the desiring one is mad, therefore all 100 desires will be equally stupid.
Since childhood, I have been a little creative as well as studious because that's the way of life. That's what parents tell you to do. So I used to dance, sketch, paint, everything. But then the thing is, as the years went by, I had to leave them behind. Once I came back to college, I started pursuing clubs and I got back into being creative. But when at the end of the day, when I did all these things and went back to my room and saw other people like my peers doing the technical stuff, they used to I used to see them pursuing courses. But then the thing is, I thought that why am I not doing the same things as they are? I felt a little lost. But then in your book, there's this quote in chapter which talks about when one is not caught in mundane rubbish, creativity just happens. You don't develop it, you only remove what blocks it. You can't cause creativity, but you can invite it. It comes on its own when it finds a clean space to enter. Now, this quote broke the perception that I had that, oh, I am creative and I'm not doing tech stuff. So from you, I would like to know that what exactly is creativity? Can you elaborate on this? Because now that my perception has been shattered, I'd like you to elaborate on it.
See, we'll start from the other side. How do we usually operate? We usually operate driven by our past and by others, the situations at hand. That's how most people, most of the times, function. Now, In this, there can be no originality because your past is deciding what is good, what is bad for you. I'll give you an example. You visit a really, really good Chinese restaurant. Yeah. But let's say all that you have been exposed to so far in your past is the humble noodles and the Manchurian balls. That's the maximum exposure you have to Chinese cuisine. Now the menu runs over 12 pages there. It's a good restaurant, have an extensive range. Still, what is it that you would offer? And mind you, you love the noodles. Since 10 years, you have been a noodles fan. So there is pleasure in the past. There is, in the past, instance of a pleasurable experience. Not one instance, but many instances of a pleasurable experience with something called noodles. And the menu runs over 12 pages, and yet what is it that you would order? Noodles. That's how most of us operate, right? That's how most of us operate. Or if you have gone there with a group and there is someone with you who claims to be a connoisseur in these things, this fellow says, no, I know China in and out. We'll order special momos. I know everything. So maybe you will yield and say, okay, fine. Momos along with noodles. That's the maximum width, diversity. Your plate, your table can take. Are you getting me? It's coming either from the past or from the surroundings. That's a natural mode of operation. Now that begs the question, what is it that you have deprived yourself of? What is it? The menu, we said, ran over 12 full pages. And each page had some 20 dishes. What is it that you have deprived yourself of? Within you, your exposure runs to 2 of your own and 2 of your friend. 2 plus 2, 4. And what life is offering you is 240. And you have no idea what kind of joy might be there in the other roads open to you. But you stick to the past and you stick to the influences. This is called being uncreative. This is called being uncreative. Now tell me, what is creativity? Creativity is to first of all realize that we are uncreative people. We are puppets with strings in the past or in the hands of others. The moment you realize that, you don't want to be too quick with placing the order. You'll maybe call the waiter, even the chef, and inquire. Even if they feel a little irritated, you will keep inquiring. No, there is this dish with this very queer name. First of all, how to pronounce it? Okay, now tell me, what is it about? I'm not giving you a blueprint for creativity. I'm just telling you what all is possible but forsaken. Not to stick to your groove. Not to remain safely confined by your within your pre-existing experiences. That's creativity. So creativity carries that question mark. Because what is from the past or the surroundings is known, well known, right? You know noodles. Your mother knows noodles. Even your grandmother may know noodles. So noodles is very well known. But all the other things, they will require a question mark. Otherwise, you cannot know. So creativity begins with that question mark. Creativity begins with stepping outside your known zone. This is something I already know, but I don't want to limit myself to this. What else is possible? What is in the domain of the unknown? Can I be bold enough to test that? That is creativity. Creativity does not come from pre-cooked material. Creativity is to dare life as it is. Not to say, I'm very safe in this little prison cell of mine. I don't want to step out of it. That's not creativity. Classically, it is said creativity is when something arises from nothing. But that's a little too abstract a definition for you. Creativity is when something arises out of nothing. What does that nothing mean? Means I'm not confined by my past. I'm not leaning upon my current supports. And yet I'm able to act. So something is arising from nothing. That is creativity. Just download the Acharya Prashant app, and there you go to the community section, and you have live testimonials streaming in at the rate of 1 every 5 minutes. I'm seeing lives change in thousands, if not millions, every day in front of my own eyes. We are doing it.
Right.
We have actually done it.
Join the community of more than 2 lakh participants on the Acharya Prashant app. Your first month is completely free. You'll get full access to Gita Mission. On the app, you will get regular live sessions, daily exclusive conversations with Acharya Prashant, access to the vibrant Gita community, wisdom exams, curated news, audiobooks, quotes, and much more. Search Acharya Prashant on Google Play Store or Apple App Store and download now.